Hello, our next topic is discipline of counseling. The discipline of counseling is a relationship by the application of one or more psychological theories and a recognized set of communication skills appropriate to a client's intimate concerns, problems, or aspirations. Let's move to the definition of counseling. The College Dictionary of Sociology defines counseling as the process of guiding a person during a stage of life when reassessments or decisions have to be made about himself and his life course. As a discipline, counseling is allied to psychology and deals with normal responses to normal life events, which may sometimes create stress for some people who in turn choose to ask for help and support. Counseling is generally a non-clinical intervention. Traditionally, in many societies, counseling is provided by family, friends, and wise elderly. Counseling is widely considered the heart of the guidance services in schools. In school contexts, counseling is usually done as individual or group intervention designed to facilitate positive change in students' behavior, feelings, and attitudes. Counseling also utilizes appraisal and assessment to aid counseling by gathering information about clients through the use of psychological tests and non-psychometric devices. Counseling is not to be confused with psychiatry, which is a branch of general medicine that deals with the treatment of the mentally ill by medically trained professionals using clinical interventions including drugs, surgical procedures, and non-physical approaches. Now let's move to the context and the basic concepts of counseling. Context as defined by URI includes the peers, the culture, the neighborhoods, the counseling, the client, the counselor, and the contextual and the process factors. Much influence though is within the family as being the primary context. Number 1. Peers as context. Friends' attitudes, norms, and behaviors have a strong influence on adolescents. In most cases, the impact of parent influence can help counter the negative influence that peers have on the adolescents' issues. Number 2. Neighborhood as context. The interactions between the family and its neighborhood as immediate contexts are also important to consider. It can both introduce additional strengths or challenges to parenting and resources that should be considered when working with families. Number 3, culture as context. Culture provided meaning and coherence of life to any orderly life such as community or organization. Culture is the source of norms, values, symbols, and language which provide the basis for the normal functioning of an individual. Counseling as context. The National Institute of Health recognizes counseling itself as context. Counseling can therefore be affected by the counseling context. From the counseling context, other success factors such as client factors, counselor factors, contextual factors, and process factors should be managed well as to contribute toward the success of the engagement. Client factors are everything that the client brings to the counseling context. The success or failure of the counseling process depends so much on the client. Counselor factors. The personality, skills, and personal qualities of counselor can significantly impact the outcomes of the counseling relationship. The counselor's personal style and qualities can make the intervention successful. Contextual factors. Counselors are therefore concerned with the environment and atmosphere where to conduct the sessions. Unless the counselor and client talk in comfort and safety, there is no way steps of healing can commence and yield desirable outcomes. Process factors constitute the actual counseling undertaking. Bellarmine presents the following 6 stages of process factors. First, developing trust. Second, exploring problem areas. Third, helping to get goals. Fourth, empowering into action. Fifth, helping to maintain change. And sixth, agreeing when to end the helping relationship. Now we are in goals and scope of counseling. Counseling is aimed at empowering a client. The general goal is to lead an individual client or group to self-emancipation in relation to a felt problem. The scope of counseling is wide. Essentially, it involves application of some psychological theories and recognized communication skills. move to the principles of counseling. Since the objective of counseling is to provide support in dealing with issues of concern, counseling is effective when it is performed with clear objectives that include providing some degree of advice, reassurance, release of emotional tension, clarified thinking, and reorientation. First is advice. Counseling may involve advice giving as one of the several functions that counselors perform. Advice giving has to avoid breeding a relationship in which the counselee feels inferior and emotionally dependent on the counselor. Second is reassurance. Counseling involves providing clients with reassurance, which is a way of giving them courage to face a problem or confidence that they are pursuing a suitable course of action. Reassurance is also a valuable principle because it can bring about a sense of relief that may empower a client to function normally again. Number 3, release of emotional tension. Counseling provides clients the opportunity to get emotional release from their pent-up frustrations and other personal issues. Fourth, clarified thinking. Clarified thinking tends to take place while the counselor and counselee are talking and therefore becomes a logical emotional release. Clarified thinking encourages a client to accept responsibility for problems and to be more realistic in solving them. Number 5 is reorientation. Reorientation involves a change in the client's emotional self through a change in basic goals and aspirations. It enables clients to recognize and accept their own limitations. Next is listening skills. Listening attentively to clients is the counselor's attempt to understand both the content of the client's problem as they see it and the emotions they are experiencing related to the problem. Good listening helps counselors to understand the concerns being presented. Is respect. In all circumstances, clients must be treated with respect, no matter how peculiar, strange, disturbed, weird, or utterly different from the counselor. Eight, empathy and positive regard. Carl Rogers combined empathy and positive regard as two principles that should go along with respect and effective listening skills. Empathy requires the counselor to listen and understand the feelings and perspectives of the client, and positive regard is an aspect of respect. Second to the last, clarification, confrontation, and interpretation. Clarification is an attempt by the counselor to restate what the client is either saying or feeling. Confrontation and interpretation are other more advanced principles used by counselors in their interventions. transference. When clients are helped to understand transference reactions, they are empowered to gain understanding of important aspects of their emotional life. Countertransference helps both clients and counselors to understand the emotional and perceptual reactions and how to effectively manage them. The last topic, core values of counseling. Certain values are considered core to counseling and are reflected and expressed in the practice of counseling. These values are respect for human dignity, partnership, autonomy, responsible caring, personal integrity, and social justice. I hope you learned about discipline of counseling. Join me again for another discussion. Bye!